Happy Friday, folks. Madcat here as we get set for a busy weekend of USL of DCFC stuff, basically, for the weekend. The first women's match will be taking place on Saturday night in the MASL-W as they take on Kalamazoo United. That is a 7:30 kickoff over in Portage. Safe travels to those heading out there for the match. Not sure what the streaming is as far as that goes. I reached out to Kalamazoo United earlier this afternoon and haven't found out back. But once we find out, we'll let you know on the Faithful for Detroit City page. But that schedule was already out, basically, but the club released it earlier in the week. This week, the first game, as I mentioned, will be Saturday night, 7 o'clock or 7:30 kickoff at Kalamazoo at Portage. The second game, the home opener, Iowa Demon Hawks, 7:30 at Detroit City Fieldhouse. You can get tickets via gopassage.com, and tickets are $10 a piece, a little bit of a fee afterwards if you do it online. The next game after that will be the following Saturday. It'll be on the 11th against Indiana United FC. Kalamazoo United on January 18th back at the Fieldhouse, and then a return trip to Kalamazoo on January 25th. February sees them at hosting Indiana United February 8th at the clubhouse or at the Fieldhouse. West Shore Ambition comes in on February 15th. That's a 7:30 kickoff as well. They travel to Iowa to take on the Demon Hawks on the 22nd. And then the home finale will be on March 1st against the Iowa Demon Hawks. That's a 7:30 kickoff as well. They travel to Iowa to finish out the season on March 15th. So, as I mentioned last week on the Musings, the lineup is, well, shall we say, stock full of great players. As you know, Kayla Addison, top goal scorer from last year's squad, part of this year as well. Gabby Schreiber is back with the squad. Megan Miles. Let's see. Shannon McCarthy among those that are going to be a part of this squad. All the home games will be streamed on YouTube via the Detroit City FC YouTube channel. So if you don't have a chance to get out to the Fieldhouse, you can always watch the games on that. First soccer night in Detroit, January 4th, from the Fieldhouse. So looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. Another schedule dropped earlier or later on in the week, and that was the men's schedule. It's going to be a weird one this year because now we're integrating the Jagermeister Cup, as I mentioned last week. Both League One and the USL Championship will be participating in the Cup. This translates, though, to the fact that the schedule has been reduced now to 30 games, 30 regular season games, to make way for the competition. So those 4 games are as follows: Pittsburgh Riverhounds come to Keyworth on April 26th. That will be the first Jagermeister Cup game. We traveled to Portland, Maine for a match against Portland Hearts of Pine. This is a new organization that is coming into USL League One beginning this season. June 20. I'm looking at it there. June 28th, Hartford Athletic will be traveling to Trinity Health Stadium for that one. And then the final Jagermeister Cup round game will be against Westchester SC. That'll be on July 26th. Conspicuously absent from that is Rhode Island FC, who is in our group. We will not be playing them in the first 4 games of this tournament. The playoffs will take place on August 20th. That's for those that qualify from the 6 groups that are participating in this tournament. And the final will take place on either on the weekend of October 11th and 12th. It's going to be a great competition, as you know. Looking forward to that. As far as the schedule goes, let's just break it down. Let's just break it down month by month. So let's start in March here. So March 8th is our opening game, and we take on the Miami FC down at Pitbull Stadium. Of course, as you know, with Miami, we beat them twice last year, including a 4-0 shutout down in Miami. So not sure how much improvement is being turned over from that team as of yet. Well, that remains to be seen. But Miami was not one of the great teams last year. In fact, they were the worst team in USL Championship. The following week, however, we traveled to the champions, Colorado Springs, on March 16th. Now, we opened up the year last year in Colorado, coming away with the victory 2-1 over the Switchbacks. A few changes have been made from that team. Ronaldo Damus, who was with that team last year, has since been released from that team. He was released earlier here. He is now in Birmingham, as a matter of fact. Speaking of the Legion, they will be the home opener on March 22nd at Keyworth Stadium. So, the last time Birmingham came to Detroit City, they were 2-1 victors at Keyworth. And of course, it started the downward spiral for the summer, the midsummer turmoil for Detroit City FC last year, where they had troubles winning a game at home. So, and then traveling down to the top seed in the Eastern Conference last year, Louisville, on March 29th. So that first month is going to be treacherous as far as that schedule goes. And a lot of people say no easy weeks in USL, no easy weeks whatsoever. Jumping into the April schedule, Maxi Rodriguez makes his return to Keyworth Stadium on April 19th. And a very home-heavy month for Detroit City FC, which will probably include games in the U.S. Open Cup as well. Not sure how the format is going to go as of yet. Nothing's been announced by U.S. Soccer as far as that goes. But judging by last year's qualifications standards, in which only 8 MLS teams got into the tournament. In fact, they came in the round of 32 along with the top 8 teams from the USL Championship, in which last year Detroit City was the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. So, judging by that, it could be that Detroit City might not make it in until the round of 32. So, we shall wait and see how that transpires as we go forward here. So, but as I mentioned, Maxi Rodriguez, April 19th, comes home to Keyworth to take on the Le Rouge there. And then we travel down to Phoenix to take on the Rising. April 12th, of course, Phoenix, let's just say they had a down year after winning the championship in 2023. So, in fact, they didn't even make the playoffs last year. Monterey Bay comes into Keyworth on April 5th in that one. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the first game of the Jagermeister Cup, April 26th, Pittsburgh rounds. Moving into May, a very road-heavy month for Detroit City FC, not including their Jagermeister Cup match against Portland Hearts of Pine. Road games against Indy 11, Hartford Athletic, and Birmingham Legion before a home match on May 24th or against the Charleston Battery. Now, the Charleston Battery, obviously, Nick Marcanic is not part of the club anymore. He is off to Europe after his splendid season there, but there's still some firepower on that team. And last year, Charleston came into Keyworth and lost 2-0 to, well, no, they did lose 2-1 to Detroit City that day. And then we drew the last time the two teams met. It was, I believe Marcanic did score a goal in that one, if I'm not mistaken. Or did he score a goal in the first? No, he did score a goal in that one. It was a 2-2 draw down at Patriots Point. So that's going to be a very tough match there. Moving into June now. Pittsburgh road trip over to Highmark Stadium June 7th. Last year it was a little bit in late April before we went out there. So always a tough place to play, as you know, and Detroit City has only won one time, and that was that playoff game back in 2023 in the first round against the top-seeded Riverhounds. Loudon traveled to Loudon the following week on the 14th, and then we welcome Miami SC to Keyworth on June 21st before traveling to Hartford for a Jagermeister Cup game against Hartford Athletic. July, we are home, but first we have to head to the great Oakland Coliseum to take on Oakland Roots SC. The Roots secured a lease deal to be at the Coliseum while they're trying to figure things out as far as a new stadium goes. It's been reported, though, I believe yesterday I saw on USL Championship.com that they're looking to secure land near the harbor there over in Oakland and build a permanent home there. Now, it's not known whether or not they're going to be staying at the Coliseum beyond this year or not, because there was talks about a 10-year plan for using the Malibu lot at the Oakland Coliseum complex for usage there until they could get a permanent stadium built. So it means to see what's going to happen in the near future as far as Oakland is concerned, as far as their home. But right now they are playing in the Coliseum for the time being. So interesting for Detroit City. You remember many of the Detroit Tiger game. I mean, of course, Tigers playing Oakland in the 90s, or not the 90s, in the 2000s and the teens and all that stuff. Those great playoff series there in the 1970s, of course. I'm maybe too young to remember that one, the 72 playoff against Oakland at the Coliseum. The famous pitch, I think if you see it on YouTube or you see it anywhere where Burt Campaners throws the bat. I believe, I'm trying to think who the pitcher was back then. I want to say it's Woody Fryman. I think it was. I don't know. I'll have to check. If you know, let me know in the comments there who that was. It boggles my mind who that was. But yeah, some great games in the Coliseum as far as the Tigers go, and the Lions have played there as well over the past years, playing the Oakland Raiders. So it's going to be interesting to see Detroit City FC playing in what was formerly known as the Black Hole. So that'll be coming up on July 5th, day after Independence Day there. Then Hartford Athletic comes to Keyworth for a regular match on July 12th. 3 consecutive weekends at Keyworth, with Pittsburgh Riverhounds coming in on the 19th, and then our Jagermeister Cup game against Westchester SC. That'll be on July 26th. Over to August now, and we travel to the new stadium. Tidewater Landing is the new home of Eastern Conference champion Rhode Island FC. We travel there on August the 6th. Indy comes to Keyworth on the 9th of August, and then travel down to Cary, North Carolina for a match against Rhode Island FC. Tampa Bay comes to town on August 23rd. Of course, the last time Tampa came to town ended up being a draw there in that matchup. And then San Antonio FC returns to Keyworth, or comes to Keyworth on August 30th. Moving into September, Orange County SC. Get ready, Detroit Celtics supporters. The Rangers are coming to town. Well, there's a tie-in between Orange County and Rangers FC. Or Sevco, as people, as you may know, is the name of that club, or whoever owns that club. But no, but there is a direct link between Rangers and Orange County SC. There's a little bit of tidbit on the side though. So Detroit Celtic supporters, get ready for that one. The Orange County Rangers will be coming to town. I believe it is Labor Day weekend. Yeah, September 6th, down at Keyworth Stadium. New Mexico United, we traveled there, the top seed of the Western Conference last year, on September 10th. Then we welcome Lexington SC to Keyworth Stadium. Their first trip into the confines of Keyworth. That will be on September 20th. Weird setup this year as far as the conference alignment goes. Now, Lexington got moved to the Western Conference. The easternmost team in Kentucky got moved to the Western Conference. Well, as you all know, conference alignments are temporary in the USL. Just ask well, FC Tulsa's still back in that conference, but yeah, conference alignments are pretty much temporary in that league. It all depends on what team comes in next. I'm sure next year with Santa Barbara, or the following year with Santa Barbara, it might change, and then they'll be back in the East. But then again, we got Brooklyn coming in too, so who knows what's going on. It is kind of a weird setup. Lexington ended up being the odd man out as far as this is concerned, so they ended up going to the Western Conference. A lot of some people were saying possibly Birmingham, and I heard instances about Louisville or Indianapolis or even Detroit. And that's one thing. Detroit will not go to the Western Conference, and our owner has said that, and our coach has said that, and our sporting director has said that. We will not be going to the Western Conference. No way. Doesn't make sense anyway. Logistically, it doesn't make sense. But according to the map, Birmingham was the most Western team in the Eastern Conference. I mean, you could draw a line between Louisville and Birmingham and all that stuff, and then they're just slightly to the west of Louisville. So I'm surprised. But then again, you look at conference rivalries or interconference rivalries. I mean, you couldn't break up Indy and Louisville. You can't turn that into a one match a year deal. That's a big thing for the USL, and now the Detroit-Pittsburgh rivalry has become pretty huge as well in USL Championship. So yeah, there was that factor as well. And Lexington being the new team and ended up being the odd team out, so they end up going into the West. Rounding out our Kentucky invasion of Keyworth, Lou City comes in on September 27th. So make sure all the bars around Hamtramck have bourbon in stock, as they like to travel, and they like to drink as well. So it's a good thing. Most of these matches are basically on Saturdays, as you know. So this Louisville match last year, the first one, road trip that I went on was on a Saturday, or no, it was on a Wednesday. I did travel down via the bus for that one, and then the last game was on a Sunday. Yeah, right before the Lions kicked off against the Arizona Cardinals. By the way, besides the reason why it was on Sunday, national game for ESPN2. And mind you, these dates are subject to change. There are no set times for any of these games as of yet, as you notice, if you notice on the Detroit City app as well. There's no set times for these games as of yet. These are suggested dates. Once the television schedule gets printed and all set to go, then the schedule will be more finalized by then. So once we find out what game CBS is going to have, what ESPN2 is going to have, Galazzo can just pick from any game, so you don't have to worry about that, or CBS Sports Network for that matter. So once those games have been determined, then you'll know when the tentative dates are. All these are subject to change. Just keep that in mind. Moving into the last month of the season, we host North Carolina on October 4th, Loudoun United on October 11th. October 11th being the last home game of the year. And it's also the weekend of the Jagermeister Cup final. So that game could be tentative to change depending on what Detroit City does in the tournament. So same with the playoffs are August 20th. I think that Tampa Bay game is a Wednesday game, is slated for August 23rd there. So, but I believe that's Wednesday. I'll have to double check that. Or you can comment in the notes on that one. But the final is October 11th, October 12th. If Detroit City is at that final, look for that fixture to move if that happens. So, and then we finish out the season. I can't think of a harder way to finish out the season, folks. Traveling to Patriots Point to take on Charleston Battery, and then down to Tampa Bay to take on the Rowdies. Charleston's pretty stacked team. Tampa Bay, they may have lost a couple of pieces in their lineup. However, they are still considered one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. So it's going to be a tough way to finish out the year. And of course, all the games, you can catch them all on ESPN Plus, obviously. As far as the contract, I'm not sure. I'll have to get back with you on that. I'm pretty sure we're back with Channel 50 this year, and CBS Detroit. But I have to double check on that and get you, keep you updated as far as that goes. But all the games definitely on ESPN Plus, unless say it ends up on CBS Sports Network or Galazzo Channel, or even CBS. I'm sure we're going to get at least one CBS game or one ESPN2 game at least, because we are Detroit City FC. That's all I have to say about that one. So, I did mention briefly about the Open Cup right around April and stuff. Nothing's been finalized. It says once we know, we'll let you know as far as that goes, who our opponent will be and how the format is going to be set up for that tournament. So basically, the schedule breaks down to this: 30 regular season games, 4 Jagermeister Cup games. Those Jagermeister Cup games will not count towards the regular season schedule. So it's a 30 game race to the playoffs at this point, and it all begins on March 8th for Detroit City FC down in Miami. So, I waited this long to get into this, but it was a melancholy announcement that occurred on Tuesday, and something we pretty much knew for quite a while. In fact, why don't we let this man share it?
This? Yeah. No, we aren't. But Oh, God, here we go. 10 years ago, if you had asked me what my dream was with professional soccer, everything, I would have said, obviously, play for my home club. Like, if I have a home club, I want to play for the home club. I want to create a legacy in my hometown club. 2 years ago, if you ask me, I would say I want my sons to know what it's like. As much as I love the boys experiencing what it's like for me to be in this realm of world, I want to be able to sit with them at one of the Detroit City games and explain to them what's going on, what's happening. I want them to grow up in this environment. You know, this is my life. Soccer is my life. Soccer is going to be my family's life, but my family is also my life. And in order for my family to have the best life possible, this is what it is. It's just. My name's Nathan Steinwascher. I am the goalkeeper for Detroit City FC. This is my last season as a professional soccer player.
What can you say about Nate Steinwascher? I mean, the guy has been here almost basically since day one. I mean, the guy, I mean, he's been, uh, let's just say, a cornerstone of Detroit City FC. I mean, he's played over 100 professional games for the club, whether it was in NISA or USL, even even in MPSL Members Cup. You know, the guy has been a fixture at Keyworth Stadium, at Tech, um, wherever Detroit City has played, and how or when Detroit City has played. The guy has been a stalwart, and I mean, what could you? I mean, what's more to say about him? The guy's done it all for Detroit City, and of course, the one memory I'm going to take away that game against Miami FC last year, in which he had come up, ran up, talked to Elvis Amo, who was about ready to take the penalty, and asked if he could do it, and Elvis obliged and put it in the back of the net. So that's one of the memories. And another memory I could take, and it was shown in the video, and I captured it, a little bit of it, a couple seconds of it myself. The guy's a great family. I mean, his two sons. I love it. I love seeing them. You know, when I'm pitch side down at Keyworth, and the VIP is like right next to us in the media area, and those two kids are so full of energy, and he wanted to bring those kids and let them experience what it's like to be part of this club. And that's another endearing fact about this guy. You know, the guy's a great family man, um great elder statesman for the club. I mean, he's been here a long time. But like I said, that's one of the memories I'll take from him. I mean, really, I another great memory I took from him. I think I captured it. This was back in Nisa back in 2021. Uh, he took the time to talk to, you know, one of the kids after a tough match against Michigan Stars. You know, he took the time to be there with the, you know, focusing in on the, a youth player or whatever. You know, he's a class act and always will be. And best of wishes to you, Nate, on all your endeavors going forward. As you hang up the boots, we hope to see you at Keyworth. Hope to see you in our area, or hope to see you pop and smoke with the Northern Guard or whatever. But I mean, great, great uh, player for this club, great ambassador for this club, and he will be truly missed. So, but that's it. That's all. I can go through here. Let's see. Let's do a little. What do you call it? Let's see. Let's do a little transaction. Uh, tracker stuff here. I'm logging into USL Tactics here. His Substack, the transfer tracker, of course. Let's see here. Recently, the latest moves here. Among the latest moves, Emilio Yacaza returns to Charleston. Let's see. I'm trying to think some big signings here from this week. As I already said about Speedy Williams, not that much in the signing. Let's go. A lot of re-signees. Diego Gutierrez to Monterey Bay. Nicky Hernandez got signed to San Antonio from New Mexico United. Couple of Memphis guys, Alvaro Quezada and Dylan Borzak, found new homes. Quezada goes to El Paso and Borzak goes to Lexington SC. Lexington also signed Milo Youssef from Tulsa. And Wesley Leggett re-signed with Loudon Loudon United FC, a multi-year deal there. Remy Cabral back with Phoenix Rising as well. As you know, John Morrissey's breaking down and letting you know who's in and who's out. So USLTactics.com is where you need to go to find out all the transaction information that you need to know, who's going where, who's getting signed where, and all that stuff. And it keeps, and he updates it every week basically, as far as things go. One more I want to add on to here. Let's see here. Patrick Hogan, formerly of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, has signed a deal with Indianapolis or Indy 11. So, and Memo Diaz goes to Oakland, a fullback. He comes from El Paso. So that's it on the transaction hot stove there. So next edition of the Musings might be a hot stove, might not be. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That'll be a week after the holiday, so, or next week. So hopefully maybe some more signs. I doubt if there's going to be anything much going on there, but I wanted to bring it. I wanted to give a little teaser as far as what to expect for an indoor soccer game, but we ran out of time as that one, and I'm going a little long here tonight as far as that goes. But we're gonna try for a after hours to after the game on Saturday. Depending on where it's being streamed, if we can be able to stream it, that'd be a great thing. So hopefully we'll have that for you. And until we meet again, and I'm gonna do a top 10. Yes, I'm gonna do a top 10 Soccer Night in Detroit moments from 2024. Look for that. Right around Christmas, probably Christmas Day, if God willing there. So probably Christmas Day, maybe Boxing Day or whatever it is. Basically, you're going to do top 10 Soccer Night in Detroit moments for Detroit City FC in 2024. So look forward to that. That's going to be a fun video there. And then it all starts January 4th down at the clubhouse for Soccer Night in Detroit 2025 as we get set for a match with the Iowa Demon Hawks. So look forward to that. Until the next time we meet, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.